I think it's not always as extreme as well. I think there's sometimes I get why everyone's talking about it and making a bigger deal of it. But I've got a really good relationship with Ben. We've had some really good conversations, and he's in a really good place, and part of us is helping him take his steps in development and growing him as a player, and sometimes that's little steps, sometimes that's bigger steps. He's taken some huge steps recently in terms of the goals he scored and the impact and that confidence and that belief that he's playing with now is great to see, and we obviously got to manage that as well, and we got some good forwards, so it's one of those decisions that we got to try and get right. But I've got no problem with Ben, and he hasn't got an issue. He obviously wants to play, but I can't speak highly enough of how he's been and the work he's putting in and his attitude to come on and do what he's done again. I thought he's finished just with so much confidence and belief and ruthless finish, which kind of sums up where he's at the minute, which is great to see. Yeah, delighted. I think that was kind of where we were tonight. I think we had to put a lot into the game, and everyone did. And I think credit to Everton, they made us dig deep, and it wasn't the prettiest or the most perfect game football-wise for us, but I think, like you say, Mateus, the defensive work he put in, the effort, the work rate, in the end, his moment that we know we've got in a group to create something made the difference for us. But it comes from him defending really well in a deep position to then create that transition, So he's a great character, Mateus. Obviously got to know him, and again, I keep saying it, but we've not been together that long really. So sometimes when you get frustrated with things that you see for the team, I mean, not as an individual, but you kind of got to take a deep breath and think, we're trying to put things in place. The players are still learning. They're getting to know me. I'm getting to know them. So another big moment for Mateus. He's had a number of them since the very start, starting at City when he came off the bench, and he's had a big impact again today for us, and he's in a good place as well. Yeah, and it takes a lot of different things to win games as well, and sometimes it'll come a little bit easier and it'll click and then the goals will flow and you attack well and the game is a lot more in kind of your favour. Other times, like tonight, credit to Everton, it was a bit of a tight game in some ways, and then it was a little bit sticky. It wasn't flowing as much for us, but I think the spirit and the belief and the trust that the lads are gaining between themselves and between all of us, I think, is important. And we kind of spoke about that before the game, really. If sometimes you've got to rely on that, and to have it, don't take it for granted. And they had it tonight. They needed everybody to put in that little bit extra, and that, in the end, that's what we got out of the game. Yeah, massively, and I think that's part of it. Sometimes is learning to cope with it. And I've said it recently. I said it when I first came. Sometimes it were easy, and it's maybe rightly so at times, not so on others. Of just expecting players to perform, and sometimes there's a lot more goes into it, and feeling the environment, being comfortable in your surroundings to be able to perform is important. And sometimes it takes a little bit of getting used to, really, and whether you're starting or coming off the bench, and that's part of our job to try and manage that, and. But yeah, particularly Senna, I thought he was outstanding tonight. I think as a goalkeeper, really, you couldn't expect, you couldn't hope for much more. Safe hands, calm, composed, came and punched when he needed to, and calmed things down. I thought it was an exemplary kind of performance. So I was delighted for him. Yeah, I got to be careful what I say. Yeah. I definitely see that similarities, yeah. Without comparing them, I don't want to be comparing them because I don't think it's fair to Senna. But there's definitely similarities. For me, as a goalkeeper, to be reliable, to be trustworthy, and instead of creating the chaos, you want him to take the chaos away and calm things down. I think Senna is that. He's quite quiet at times and unassuming, but he's got a real steeliness, and to step in, it's a big role, for some. And others, as talking there about coping and just being comfortable in your environment, and sometimes it takes time, sometimes not. But he's how he's gone about it at the moment is that calmness, that composure. I think it does help those in front of him an awful lot. In some ways, yeah, I think it's difficult for me to kind of talk about the past or not when I've not been here, but certainly the boys at the moment who have came in recently are all playing a huge part for us, which is ideal. And a major part of it is the character, and the personality, and that is a major attribute to have, especially playing here. So Senna kind of, I mean, the jump that he's had is a big jump, no disrespect, but it's a huge jump for the one he made, and to take it like he has done and just get on with things speaks volumes of his kind of personality, and he's so able to just deal with the environment and play at that level. Listen, that was a tough place, that last 15 minutes, the amount of crosses and corners and things that he had to deal with, and a couple of shots that he just catches and takes the sting out of it. So to be able to do that in such a manner was obviously pleasing for us.